So, we stayed basically on time. I'm going to speak just for 3 minutes, and then I think Saul will have some instruction for some people as well. So these are the, quote, closing remarks of an outstanding 2 days. What can we actually say? In a private session at the very beginning, I had mentioned that we were swinging for the fences. The Critical Race Studies program here at UCLA knows where it came from and is ambitious in all that we tried to do. And what we tried to do was to make new ground by bringing really interesting thinkers together, and in that crucible to think new thoughts with the hope ultimately not only to teach ourselves and you, but also to transform the way social justice works. And it isn't easy. It is, as was just described, work. And that is the work that we have always tried to do. And as I've said over the course of these 2 years, and Saul can testify to this, the goal here is always to fall forward. We stumble, we trip, but we work and fall forward, and that is what I think we have accomplished. The panelists have another hour and a half to work and fall forward that you don't know about in private sessions, because we're actually going to try to write some of this down and produce maybe a book out of it. But I do want to thank everyone who spent their time here, hustled. Hopefully it was worth your while. I certainly think it was. And to get this kind of intellectual honesty, depth, precision across disciplines is not an easy thing to do. Even at great universities like UCLA, you do not see it often. And so you should be thankful for what you participated in. With that, let's give all of us a round of applause. Again, the hardest working man in show business.
I mean, really, especially.
Thank you, Professor Kong and everybody else. And actually, you all know this. You can't be the hardest working man if you don't have a great team. I want to ask for a special applause for all of the student volunteers. I don't know if you could stand up. A few of them are not actually in the room because they're setting up for the next sessions I'm going to tell you about. But if you are a student who's in the CRS program, stand up, please. This is the next generation of civil rights leaders, the next generation of legally trained social justice advocates. I want to thank you for all your work and really for inspiring all of us who are on the faculty here to come and do our jobs right. With that, I want to build on what Professor Kong shared with you about what the idea is for the rest of the day. I think it's really important to answer one of the questions raised by Andrea specifically just now and by a lot of you over the last couple of days is it's important to say out loud that this thing that we're doing and that we've done over the last 2 days is actually the struggle. This thing of ordering linen and putting up mics and getting name placards is a certain way that we have to sort of do the work here to make sure that those of us who see ourselves as doing theory or practice are actually talking to each other. And here at the CRS program, we've always rejected the idea that those two things stand apart from each other, and that sometimes the theory follows the practice and sometimes the practice is following the theory, but that they're always in conversation with each other. In many ways, this is an experiment. The fact that we can be folks with social justice commitments inside of legal institutions talking about social change. And it's an unlikely experiment. It's one that requires what all of you are bringing to the table. And we need to be mindful of that moving forward so that it just doesn't happen once a year at this particular gathering in this particular format. And you all know that because you're doing great work. And so to help move that forward, we've been experimenting with this format. This is our 3rd annual symposium. All of you saw the wonderful student panel that started the day off yesterday. That was something that has evolved into what we think is going to be a really good opportunity to continue to put interdisciplinarity on the table for how we do academic work. In addition to that, Professor Kong mentioned that the folks who flew here from other universities and who left their families, some of them might have brought their families, but who are really doing this on top of their day jobs over at their own universities have put a lot of their own capital and sweat equity, as Professor Kong calls it. And we're really, really grateful that you could be here with us. And before we end, we want to ask you to stand up, but come up here to the front so we can take a picture of all of you before you leave. So if you could stand up now so we could acknowledge you for all your hard labor. All the panelists. You could come up here to the front. You guys can stay. Yes, the academic panelists in the first couple rows, if you could stand up here, the photographer is going to take a picture of you, and the rest of us are going to acknowledge you for your work. And then we have instructions for the friends and alumni, the rest of us in the room. Come up one line here, all the way over. Yes.
Jerry, Addie, come on down.
Addie Rolnick, our CRS fellow. I think the back row is going to have to stand. Okay, so we're going to take a picture and just want you all to see yourself as connected to this community. Yes, CRS faculty should be in this picture. Yes. Yeah, come on, Cheryl. Gary, will you mute the actually, yeah, he's doing it.
Would you put Obama back up there?
No, that would be almost funny.
Should I stay behind this microphone?
All right. Here we go. Yeah, I know this.
Okay,
Here we go.
what's the word in the audience? Is it tequila to make them smile?
Kimchi. That works.
One more round of applause for this side. Okay, now all of you, we want you to walk outside and walk upstairs to the second floor, room 2448.
Panelists to 2448. Everyone else?
And then the rest of the folks, I have some more instructions. Yes. Everyone should have an evaluation. I want you to pull it out now.
We're going outside.
I want to ask you to please turn in the evaluation in the front. Tell us what you liked about the panels, what you would like to see in next year's symposium, what you might not have liked about the 2 days. And as you're doing that, I'd like to provide some instructions about the rest of the day. Friends and alumni of CRS is hosting a strategy planning session. For those of you who are interested in supporting us in our mission to think new ideas, teach new leaders and scholars, and transform racial justice advocacy. That's happening upstairs in room 2357. We're going to go there from here. Oh, yeah. Now, if you can't join us for the strategy planning session, we want to ask you to come and join us for a party. This evening actually in about an hour and a half at 4:30, we're going to have a reception to close out the day in the 4th floor of the Law Library, the Library Tower. And this is our annual reunion for the students who have come back for this event. Shh, if I could ask for some quiet in the room so we can just wrap up. It's very important if you're an alum to stick around for that event. That's when we do the group picture that we will then mail to you, unless you're Nicolas Espiritu, who never got his from last year. At that event, we're going to ask you to just join us to do one final celebration. There'll be appetizers, there'll be drinks, and then we really encourage all of you, if you haven't already bought your ticket, to walk up to Covell Commons for our annual PILF auction, which is the way that we fundraise for our students to do public interest work during the summer. And that will close out the evening for all of you. In the meantime, I ask you to continue to support each other in this work, to support us in trying to think hard about this work. And I want to actually report one final victory for you. Our program managed 2 days ago to get on the drop-down menu for the law school's online donor page. It's a big victory for us. For those of you who come here, you know why. I want to encourage you to think about giving. There's a laptop set up outside where you could actually go with your credit card information and give online right now. And if not, when you're thinking about what to do with your tax refund, what to do with your bonus if they're coming, remember that you can click on a button and give to CRS and own a part of this in the future. Thank you so much for being here.